Welcome into a Sports Gambling Guides exclusive. We've got Andrew, we've got Ricky, and these two dudes just became rich this weekend because of Tom Hoge, someone we never saw coming, someone I did not think would make a bunch of guys rich. You two threw down just over $1,000 and netted over $82,000 on Tom Hoge to win at Pebble Beach. Guys, take me through it. How did this bet come to be?
Ricky, you want to start? Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically each week, we go into it, and Andrew and I, this basically started last year. And last year, we were playing golf, but separately. And that's one of the sports, with no other sports going on with COVID and everything like that. It was like, man, we got to get our action in. So we started concentrating on golf, and we were playing, and man, we just went on this really big roll, dude. We went, I think, I hit 8 out of 13 weeks with the winner. Andrew hit 3 in a row and hit like 5 out of 7 or something like that. And then, by that time the season finished. So going into this year, we played 2 tournaments so far. And last tournament going into it, we just kind of did our homework. We do them separately, right? Like we don't call each other and be like, hey, this is the guy, right? Like we do it separately, and whatever matches up, that's pretty much what we take, right? So that's how we got to Hoge this week.
So, and I'll touch back on that and what we did last week, which was a heartbreak. I think the golfing gods had our backs this week because we had Will Zalatoris. We put about 3,800 to 160K, and he missed by a quarter of an inch.
Nearly
so
one.
This week, yeah. So this week I was just, he called me Wednesday night, and I was like, I'm really mad. I'm really angry. I said, I feel like we're owed one. We're like by this much. And the same situation happened to me 15 years ago with, who was it? Angel Cabrera in the Masters, and Adam Scott hit the 60-foot putt, and he missed by this much. So I was like, this happens once every 15 years. I don't like it. So we started doing our homework, and I come up with a list, and Ricky comes up with a list, and then we sort of cross-reference over the phone. And then the best thing with DraftKings now, you can hedge live, so we pretty much have no risk by Sunday.
Well, for sports betting fans who don't know who Tom Hoge is, and I'm sure coming into this weekend, most people don't know who Tom Hoge is. He's 32. He had never won a PGA event. He had one professional win, and that was on the Canadian Tour in 2011. So what was the analytic? What stat did you guys see that conceived you to go, oh yeah, Tom Hoge, that's a no-brainer?
It's funny. We look for guys like that. We look for guys who have never won before. We look for guys who play well in other tours. We don't do a lot of homework like that. I read stuff like Golf Digest, and sometimes I'll just do the most basic stuff like Google PGA picks, and then I'll just read. I'll read Wednesday night. It's like a ritual. Like 10:30, I'll just read for like an hour different things. And if I see different guys who actually know a lot more than I do, like mention the same names, then I'll be like, okay, and I'll make a mental note and be like, okay, like at Farmers, Zalatoris was all over a lot of websites. I was like, this guy might win. And then I think he probably should have won. But we were able to hedge out with Luke List, so we were okay. So the hedging is a big part of it, but there's no real science really. We just really see it clearly, and we've been really fortunate. Like last year, I hit 3 weeks in a row. Ricky hit 8 out of 13 weeks, and then we realized we're just better thinking as a team, and then we just follow it as we go.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, dude, I think we all have, a little, I wouldn't say it's a system, but just kind of metrics that you use, right? Like, you don't want to look for guys that have won already during the year, because how likely is it people are going to win twice in the year, right? It doesn't happen. And then one of the things that I think, that people need to pay attention to is that when you have golfers, when you watch golf on a week-to-week basis, you see guys that are normally around, let's say 100 to 1, okay? But on this course, they're 60 to 1, right? And you still see like the favorites are up there. Well, when stuff like that happens, that lets you know the bookmakers are giving them a chance to win. And that's like with Hoge. You gotta look for people that have been playing good, okay, but just haven't got over the hump. I mean, Hoge, one win on a tournament, I have no idea when that win was, right? But it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter because he's been playing good, he's put himself in a position, and he's failed. Well, eventually those guys get over the top. And that's what we look for, right? So I think for the most part, right, AP, we can look at odds and just know, like, okay, these guys have a legitimate chance to win. Because in any other given circumstances, like their odds are much, much higher.
It's funny. I looked at after the second round, I called Ricky and I said, looking at all of our guys, I said we have power, and actually we worked it out. We didn't put enough on power, so we would actually, if he would have won, we would have still picked the winner. However, we would have lost money. So we were rooting against our own pick. We were rooting against our own pick. So it was kind of like, I hope our guy doesn't win. But by the end, with all the hedges and all of our original picks, I took a screenshot of the leaderboard. I showed a friend of mine here this morning. I said, I think we had 12 guys on just, if you go to the app and you just look at the main screen with like 18 people, we had 12 of them. Like we had, I think 8 of the top 10 just covered, and that would have covered all of our risk with a good amount of profit behind it too.
So off the top of your head, I mean, you guys profit about $82,000 off of the Hoge wins, but what's subtracted from that when you count in all the other bets that you made?
Our net was about 60 grand. And the only reason it wasn't more is I was talking to Andrew on hole 16. Hoge, I'm telling him, I'm like, Andrew, bro, we got to hedge on speed. Well, his live in odds were minus 300. Like, there's no way we could hedge. You'd have to bet 50 grand. We had about 15 grand spread across everything, but that was like hedges going in. Our pre-tournament wagers were like 7 grand. Okay, maybe 8 grand.
Yeah.
But so like when Hoge hits it 1 foot away on 16, and then you have Spieth that hits it into the bunker, the odds flip-flopped, right? Because they went from, Hoge was now a slight favorite. So I'm like, listen, as much as I don't want to hedge, mathematically we have to hedge, right? So like we laid 16 grand of that profit on Spieth because we had to, right? Because we're free rolling at that point, like he said at the beginning.
Yeah, it was even money, and it eliminated all of our risk. So I mean, at that point, technically they were both minus 18. I knew that, or 17, whatever it was. We knew Hoge was not going to miss a 1 foot putt or half a foot putt. But with the 2 holes left, granted we were 1 hole back, we had one, a hole advantage, and Hosler was there. But to get Spieth at even money, that was the best thing we could possibly do at the moment to protect ourselves, just in general.
And we learned.
Go ahead.
We learned from the week before. Like, I mean, you guys got to take this in perspective. If Zalatoris makes that putt last week, we win 100. It was like 154,000, is what it was, minus whatever we had risk. And the only reason we didn't crush the tournament is because we had to fade Rahm and Day, last tournament. And what happened is you get Luke List that gets into the clubhouse at 15 under, like 7 holes early. Well, yeah, Luke List at that time was like 10-1. But we can't hedge, right? Because we're having to fade like the monsters.
But it's funny. I felt bad because after they were playing the 2 different courses, and I think it was Zalatoris and List were the only ones who started on the hard course, and they were the only ones who shot under par, I think, after round 1, or one of the few. And I told Rick that, and he said to me, he goes, "Well, shit, maybe we should play List." And I said, no. At that point, it was 65.
Yeah, List was like 130-1.
Yeah.
Would have been pretty nice payday.
Yeah. Sure.
My final question is, you guys mentioned that this was not just a one-way bet. You parlayed Hoge into some other futures, and could you share some of those with me?
Sure. We have, let's see, Hoge with the Avalanche to win the Stanley Cup and the Warriors to win the championship, risking 400 for just over 72,200. 300 actually. And what else did we do? I got the Suns to win.
Hoge with the Bengals money line. Yeah. I think it's like, but we bet that on the last day, so that was 500 to catch like 9 grand if the Bengals win.
8,200 for 500 for 8,200. Then we got Hoge, the Bengals to win the Super Bowl, Auburn to win the NCAA title, and the Suns. That was a free DraftKings bet they gave us for 89 grand. And then the last one was just another free bet they gave us. I just did it with Auburn to win the NCAA title. So to root for in March. That was a free bet, $300 bet for $5,400 instead of the 9-1 odds that I would have gotten if I had played it straight.
You guys are playing chess, not checkers. You know when to hedge. You're clearly in advanced thinking, which is smart, especially with the new systems with DraftKings and FanDuel. It sounds like you guys know what you're doing, and I can't wait. We're gonna have to check back with you come Masters time. Because
we already have a short list for Phoenix. We're already working on Phoenix right now for Thursday. Everyone's obsessed with Super Bowl week. We're like, It's time for the Waste Management Open. We're ready to go.
The biggest party on grass, the Waste Management Phoenix Open, is one of my favorite events on tour. I can't wait to watch 16. What do you think? Anyone ace 16 this year?
Man, who do you like, AP? Just give out 2. That's it. Don't give any more. Who do you like? Huh?
So I don't want to give it my best one, right? I like Chase Reavie. I showed Ricky a parlay today with Reavie and the Bengals to win the Super Bowl. $100 pays $33,000. I mean, the golf would end at 5 o'clock. The Super Bowl would start at 6:15. Whatever it is, you'd be able to.
I'll give you one. There's no reason that Harold Varner should have same type of odds of Tony Finau. So I like Varner to make a little push. He's been playing well.
Varner's coming off that incredible walk-off eagle putt at the Saudi Invitational. Awesome. Well, Andrew, Ricky, thanks so much for taking the time. Congratulations. You guys ended up cashing on 82, walk away with a little bit more than 60. Pretty good weekend for you both. Thanks so much, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hey, nice speaking with you, Matt. You have a good one.